5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's the Romello Marcellous Show. The fly uncle you always wish you had.
Bring them out.
Here to give you every aspect of game from a real player's perspective. It's the biggest boss from business, entertainment, love, and life.
Had to find my inner power.
To fashion, etiquette, and current events.
Major show alert.
All to enhance the happiness already inside you.
Today is about the power of you. Check it out. You're now rocking with the best.
Here I am, goddammit. Here I am. Welcome to Trigger with Romello Marcellous. I'm he is me.
Hey, Smoke! Ho! It's time to get down to business. Can we get to it? Yeah. You ready? Trying to get right to it. Trying to see that action. Whole lot of action. Lori is here, Keisha.
1 second. 1 second, goddamn. Let me cue this up. As usual. Yep. All right, goddammit. Here I am. Welcome to the Trigger with Romello Marcellous. I am he and he is me. I came on today, man, because I had a brain fart and I needed to get it out. I needed to let the aroma flood the gates. God damn it. You know, I did the show yesterday and I thought about the content of it, right? And you know, it's true to like to what I'm about to share. The question I have is this: have black folks forgotten what survival costs? Yeah. Have we truly forgotten what survival has cost? A lot of us moving around this free will, this autonomy thing that we believe we got, and we just got here with it and moving about with it and doing the best we can do with it, and we don't care about what nobody feeling or thinking about anything we doing, right? Here's the problem. We living in a time where everybody thinks they so advanced, they got it so figured out, but nobody understands the price that that was paid long before they came along for the very room that they standing in talking about they know it all. Yeah, we got a whole lot of confidence and no goddamn context. Pride without even understanding where the fuck you come from. Whole lot of I'm feeling some kind of way, some emotion, and no damn discipline. Yeah, a lot of y'all here loud and wrong as fuck. Ain't got no roots, so understanding of where your roots lie. Yeah, and the danger of this all, it's not the oppression. It's not oppression at all. It not anymore. It ain't. Yeah, the danger is amnesia. A lot of y'all are selective with your amnesia, with the thoughts and the process that you had, right? The fact that you should be able to walk around and not be able to read the room and tighten up when you come into places and spaces where people believe a thing about you, only to walk into a space and confirm the very thing that they believe about your dumb ass. Yeah. See, people forgot, right? Oh, excuse me. They forget all of the pressure that created us in this situation, this very patch of life where things seem so abundant and available and accessible to you to receive and to grow and to flourish and do all the shit you want to do in life. But you forget all of the pressure that the folks before us took, paid for with their bodies, with their blood, their sweat, their tears, their humility, And you forget, all the while undoing the very protections that were built for us. And that's where we at right now. We walk into spaces today with this grand sense of entitlement because, hell, I got a couple dollars in my pocket and I can move and do and say whatever I want to. You know, that was purchased by somebody else's suffering. A lot of times it was kids. Look at the Freedom Riders. They rode all around and down through wherever, sitting at those lunch counters so that you could take your dumb, goofy ass up into a fine establishment and act like a goddamn fool. Yeah. You didn't earn the right to be in those rooms. So when you sitting down eating your $200 steak and you popping a bottle or some shit, think about all those people that came before you that never had the opportunity to taste the thing, the very thing that they died for you to taste. You inherited these privileges. Yeah. And an inheritance without understanding turns into recklessness. And this is what it is now. And so many people are adding fuel to the fire because, oh, you can do what you want to do. And, you know, I had somebody comment on a post today. And I took a phrase from a classic record that was made by the Last Poets. You can go find it. Niggas is afraid of revolution. And at the last very, very lyric was, you should get out of the way so real black folks can rule. Yeah. And that's what I'm getting at. Have we really forgotten all of the sacrifices that were made? Jesse Jackson just died. Although a lot of us don't agree with all the things he's done, he did a lot. He was always on the front line. Yeah. We confuse access with acceptance. And just because you're able to walk into a space now, don't mean that you accept it. Just because you're allowed in the building, don't mean the building was built for you. Because majority of the time, the buildings weren't built for you. Yeah. So it doesn't mean that you should take your goddamn indignant self off up in there and show somebody something because you think you can. Yeah. All of that. And see, that's the psychological trick of modern times. You don't conquer people anymore. You convince them. You convince them that they're conquered. So now discipline feels like oppression. And I say this all the time when we're dealing with a bunch of butt hurt and heart hurt and mentally hurt folks. They deflect and they don't take the accountability or the responsibility to be better. Yeah. So that same discipline that feels like oppression, structure, shit, that feels like disrespect. Somebody asking you to put on a fucking shirt, put on a pair of pants and pull them up around your waist and stop cussing in public all the time. I mean, yeah, I'm a cussing motherfucker, but I know when I'm in certain rooms what that room looks like and needs to be for me to be there. And I'm not saying it just for me, but in the presence of all those that never made it to those rooms. See, we reject the very behaviors that protect us. The very behaviors that protect us. Our grandparents moved carefully because survival required a whole nother level of intelligence. We move emotionally because comfort was provided by them and all the shit that they endured. And our comfort nowadays requires us nothing because it's already been paid for. They understood the consequences. We understand reactions. This is where we are right now in our own modern way, actually in our own modern way. Yeah. You know how easy reactions are to control? You ever think it's so easy you don't even understand? This is why outrage spreads faster than the knowledge. Yeah, because a thinking man is dangerous, more dangerous than any man reacting. That's predictability. Yeah. See, we don't study power anymore. We study situations and validations. Yeah, the situation made me feel some kind of way, so I need to be validated by my response to this situation. We don't ask we don't even ask what the road leads to when we do dumb shit before we do it. We do things that make us feel right now because, hell, I got something I need to prove, something on my chest. And a people governed by feelings will always be controlled by who controls the temperature, the stimulus. It's just like getting up and going to punch a clock for somebody every day. As long as you put an individual in the position to feed you, you also put them in a position to starve you. And our parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents, they understood that. Even though they punched the clock, the majority of them always had something on the side that they did to make ends meet just for themselves. Shit. You ain't got to change anybody now. You don't even have to chain them to anything nowadays. Somebody who volunteers for their attention, shit, you wake up and you put it right in your hand and you scroll and you jump out there and you look at it. Hopefully you see me and get something from this shit. Yeah. You ain't got to silence somebody who speaks without strategy. Yeah. Just let them roll. And trust me, a lot of times at the top of the goddamn algorithm for a reason. Yeah. You ain't got to erase history when people stop referencing the history. We moving about in this entitlement and we don't even understand at the same time we being erased. Our history is being erased quietly. We began helping the dumb shit during COVID by taking the Confederate flags down, snatching those stone men and out of the middle of the town and everything. Whole 9 yards, man. And even more so, we're proving the first understanding that was given about those who began to rewrite history about us, the damn animals. Yeah, the dumb. They can't think. They're easily influenced. We can control them and do all kinds of things to them, and they have been. Yeah. And that's the coldest part. Control today doesn't even look like restriction. It looks like freedom with no direction. Because real awareness creates very uncomfortable behavior. Yeah. It makes you move different in public. It makes you calculate before reacting. It makes you represent more than yourself. And this is the problem. Nobody wants to do anything. They want to be the chief, be the boss, and they ain't representing nothing or nobody. Even down to how many quote unquote billionaires and black millionaires we got that don't even reach back to people that look like them because they're too busy trying to sit at somebody else's table that wasn't even built for their stupid asses. You just a nigga with money. That's it. So I asked the question again. Have black folk forgotten what it cost or what the survival cost us? Yeah. We've been taught now that expression is the highest virtue. Not wisdom, not discipline, expression. So now people defend behaviors that they know is fucked up, as opposed to tightening up and defending their legacy. Yeah. See, it's most of the niggas roll around here and believe that because I ain't got nothing and nobody else before me had nothing, I got to be everything I can be when I get something. What does that something look like? And who's the audience that's auditing your something? I'll say all of these people that came before us, they moved in a different way, different level of humility, different level of grace, even when they didn't have a pot to piss in or window to throw it out of. They didn't play about one another and they didn't play with people. Yeah. And now you see somebody acting reckless in a space and instead of correcting it, people protect it. I am blown away of how many niggas rolling around here without reproach. So when you sit here and you got this woman who was running for president standing up on the TV talking about, yeah, you're a bunch of deplorables and all these kind of things, and the shit you do perpetuates the fact in saying it. Wow. So why? Because we were trained that accountability equals betrayal. But historically, accountability was survival. Communities corrected themselves, man, because outside correction, that was fatal. That was fatal. Yeah, that's why even when young girls got pregnant and things of that nature, hey, we're going to send you down to your grandmama's. We're going to figure out what we're going to do with your baby. But at the same time, we still got to maintain a level of dignity and respect. And when the young boys got to lie, the village or the town handled that in-house. Because for it to get outside of the city or the town or the company of who we were, it was fatal. Now we reject the internal correction of those that look like us and then complain about external consequences. Come on, man. That's ass backwards. Everybody wants respect, but nobody wants responsibility for the goddamn perception that's being made or created about us. Even down to the goddamn entertainers, girls got the ass out, twerk it, come on, pop it for your man, get the money, fuck that nigga, yeah, all of that. And the dudes going along with it, even down to how irresponsible they are with themselves, creating images that sow seeds in the youth that are coming behind them. And this is what I want to aspire to be. You don't get to decide. You don't get to decide how you're received. Only how you present yourself. I had to go to a situation where I used to operate. Man, I'm out here. I'm doing me. I'm by myself. I'm good. I don't need no whole bunch to it and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But at the same time, when shit jumped off, everybody had to go. You couldn't just sit there and say, well, I ain't gonna be a part of that. Nah, nigga, you going to. You going. And this is the same thing. I keep saying it. Listen, when people see 5 lions coming down the street, they not turning and walking around and trying to figure out which lion gonna bite them. They running. They getting out of the way. But see, a lot of you out here do not even grab the fact that when you looking at hoe ass niggas and hoe ass chicks, they stand too close together to the real folks, and they've been in these rooms that weren't built for them, and they learn to speak the language. But most of us are not watching the actions. I say it all the time. Just because a motherfucker's in the room and can speak the language doesn't mean they are the genuine article. You gotta watch their actions. Yeah. Presentations always mattered. Not because you're inferior, because you're visible. Visibility demands some level of precision, and that ain't oppression. That's a reality. That is reality. That is actual factual reality. Yeah. A soldier in enemy territory don't move casual. Nah. Even down to the green book we used to have to carry up and down the highway. Yeah. To find us a place to stay before we got through one of these little sundown towns. Yeah. Even if he got a right to be there. Not because he's scared, but because he understands the stakes that are at hand. We stop understanding the stakes, and we sit there and we go through the motions, and comfort made us forget we will represent something bigger than our motherfucking mood. And here's the part that people won't say out loud. The greatest threat to people ain't hatred. It's misguided, unsound doctrine dressed as empowerment. Yeah, because real empowerment requires some restraint. And if you ain't got it, man, you dangerous out here. Anything that removes restraints while claiming liberation is conditioning. Yeah. Every decision you make serves as an impulse. You ain't free. You just as programmable as this motherfucking phone in my hand. Yeah. Freedom increases control over self. That's what it does. That's what it's supposed to do. And programming increases reaction to the environment that you're in. And I say it all the time. If you can control and program the things in your environment, like your telephone, your TV, your lights in your house to turn on and off when you need them, your alarm system, you control it. Yeah. And look around. We react to everything. The fact that somebody said, hey, man, I work hard and I didn't expect to come into a nice, fine establishment and see people that look like me walking around and doing the things that they were doing. Wow. Trends. Saggy jeans, bubble coats, nappy dreads. All of these things that niggas don't even understand. It was just a trend and some fashion statement. I'm going to tell you, I remember, man, years ago, a family member went over to the islands. He had dreads and his was nice and tapered. His niggas wear them over here and shit. The people over there were insulted. The fact that he had those dreads and they were like, no, those are not the ones you need to be wearing. You're not a Rasta and you should cut those out of your head. I'm just speaking facts. Yeah. And those trends control the identity. Algorithms, they control attention. Everything you see and you reading and validation of all those things will control the behavior. And then we swear we independent. Nigga, we dependent like a motherfucker for that dopamine hit, whatever that hit you getting off of seeing what you see that confirms whatever feelings that you can't even afford to have as a black person or indigenous black person in this country, in the world. We forgot survival culture. Yeah. We forgot it. We forgot the fact that it was the very thing that created this black excellence that so many people talk about that they're not even feeding into. They got theirs and they're gone. Yeah, they ain't coming back to see about you. Not comfort culture. The pressure our people was under, that shit, that is the very thing that produced precision. And hardship produced the goddamn skill. Necessity produced unity. Yeah. When all those towns were built, those Black Wall Street towns and shit, it wasn't because, hell, we just got together and do it. It was because we couldn't go nowhere else. We could not go sit up in their restaurants. We couldn't go to their hospitals. We couldn't go to their schools. We had to build our own shit. And then that was a threat because, hell, as I said before, a man with a plan and a thought and a brain in his head, he's dangerous. He's unpredictable. Yeah. Nowadays, conventions produce all of the goddamn carelessness. Convenience. We move like consequences just retired, just disappeared. But consequences never retire. They just wait for the memory to fade. Then they're gonna come see about you. Yeah. And once the memory fades, the pattern will repeat itself. You know, we got propped up, man, so many goddamn people who, for some reason or one way or another, and I'll say this in the last 15 years, some had no business being where they were. Some were right where they were fucking supposed to be, but they were doing fucked up shit. And just like an entertainer, they were propped up before us to be martyrs because things happened to them. Programming. Even now, we see it and we don't want to see it. There's a saying, man, that a lie will travel and be believed before the truth. Yeah. You know why elders sound harsh? Because they remember stakes you never experienced. They remembered the stakes they paid and the people before them paid that you never experienced. When you don't know what it costs, you spend it recklessly. And this is what's going on. That's human nature. That's why knowledge of history ain't about guilt. It's about calibration. Yeah. Yeah. It tells you how serious to take your own behavior. And without it, everything becomes a goddamn joke. And people who joke about their own image will watch others define it. Yeah. Straight like that. We fighting each other over words and shit like that, while systems operate over patterns. Yeah. They don't need you to fail, man. They need you predictable. Yeah. You hear people sit back and even on this platform say, man, oh, well, how many times, what time of day it is, what time is the best time to post, what time is the best time to say, what should you say, what words are going to hit the most, predicting, man, predictions and just how they got you set up, boy. And predictable people, you know what their outcomes are? They always destroy themselves. You don't collapse a community from the outside. If it abandons standards from the inside, it's easier. No enemy stronger than the mindset that rejects correction. Yeah. So what does awareness today really, really mean? It means discipline when nobody is enforcing it. It means representing even when nobody's watching. It means you carry history whether you acknowledge it or not. Yeah. Legacy. Legacy don't disappear when it's ignored or when you stop listening. It just stops protecting you. Not fear, protection. Yeah. When inherited doors open by sacrifice, but now we kicking the hinge off of it, acting like we built the goddamn house. You ain't dishonoring ancestors by succeeding. You dishonor them by moving careless with the opportunities. That's all. Opportunities it's not something that's permanent. It's fleeting. And respect ain't permanent. You respect those that respect you, but the respect starts with you. Do you respect yourself? Yeah. And access to any and everything ain't permanent. What you do with the access can very well change the trajectory of any and everyone that looks like you coming after you. Only your behavior could potentially sustain your position. And if we don't relearn that, history don't have to repeat it. Not through oppression, it don't. It repeats itself through self-sabotage. And that's an ongoing thing every day. And self-sabotage always disguises itself as freedom first. You can't tell me nothing. I'm free. I come and go as I please. So the question about the past is, do we understand the weight of being seen? A lot of y'all don't. Because once you understand that you'll move intentional, and intentional people, they don't need no supervision. They need purpose. It's like I say, man, even in the conversation, a lot of times people talk about people. They're not great folks. Great folks talk about ideas and the things they need to execute those ideas. Sit on that for just a second. I came on here, man. Like I said, man, I had to let it out. And on my way, I'm gonna say this. We don't have an enemy problem. We got a memory problem. And memory determines behavior. Behavior determines outcome. And outcomes don't care about no goddamn excuses. So if you are one of these individuals who needs some tightening up, you don't know where to go, you ain't got nobody, find some goddamn body. You on this internet shit. Find somewhere to go that's going to tell you about who you are and where you've come from and why you need to be better. Start taking an opportunity to look into all of these people that came before you who were shut out of the very places that you are able to get into and be all that you can be in. Stop playing. Can't afford no feelings. It costs you too much, especially if you got a darker hue on you. Your feelings will cost you way too much. No, get you some understanding, man. I can't put a little paint, but I'm going to get on up out of here. Peace.